That the president says he swore.
Okay, good. Jeff said nothing inappropriate. So coming back to your question, where were we at with that? So that's the correct thing to do. And you should notice the thing that I talked about yesterday, where you have to adjust. The answer you get should not be in scientific notation. So you should have to adjust it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay, good. So yeah, that's the way to go. Yep.
Okay.
That's the way to go. Okay. How's everybody else? Any other questions? No. Okay. All right. If there are no other questions, we're going to get into the next section. Okay. And the next section, so, all right. First thing I want to tell you, I don't know. Let me ask anybody. Does anybody know? I'm going to tell you something about myself. You ready? And you're all like, oh God, I probably don't want to hear this, whatever. So I am what is known as an ENFP. Does anyone know what that means? Has anyone ever heard something like that? ENFP. And you're like, oh God, what is he, what is he saying? What is he talking about? So this is what's known as a personality. And there you go. Lauren knows. Personality type. So I remember, so real quick, little story. A long time ago, when Jeff was just starting to teach, I took over a class for a day. I substituted for one of my colleagues for a day, for actually 2 days. And they had to do this personality test. And it doesn't test to see if you have a personality. It does more than that. It tests to see what type of personality you have. And when the results came in, it tells you what other historical figures has that same personality type. Are you guys with me? All right. And just so you know, I do not believe in astrology. I do not believe in that shit, because do you know that the nurse standing next to you when you were born has more gravitational pull on you than any star anywhere? So there's, I'm sorry if I'm offending you. If you believe in astrology, I'm doing that. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say that, because that's up to you. You can believe what you want to. This isn't that. This is, to me, this is really interesting because it doesn't care why you are the way you are. It measures what you are. And then if you read about that personality type, you can actually see there's ways you can say, what's a good way for me to be? What do I do when I'm like this, according to my personality type? So it's very interesting. You can use it for you want to or not. I don't care. It's up to you. Where was I at? Shoot, I always hate when I go on. So let me show you this. I'm going to make this active. So what I have done is I have assigned something for you, but it's going to be here. So when you go to modules, where all your homework stuff is, right, here's where you turn in homework, blah, blah, blah. Right here in unit 1, here's the SI prefixes, the 10 to the 6th is million, all that stuff we talked about, right? And the giga and the mega, that's right there. And then right below that is personality type, due September 13th. Oh, somebody just left. Oh shit, all right. So if you click on that, there will be a link to the test. And so, and again, this is a well-established thing. It talks about it in the book, just so you know it's not crazy-ass Jeff just doing some weird shit. It isn't. Well, it is, but at least it's backed up by the book. I am, let me see, here we go. I am an ENFP, which means, here I am a campaigner. So what's really interesting is once you finish taking it, you can read this. So part of the assignment, and you can see what I'm like and my friendship and my career paths, and not surprisingly, teacher is a big part of something that could happen for ENFP. Anyway, once you, oh shit, I didn't want to go that far. You guys can all see the personality test website. Is that true? All right, good. I always forget how this thing works. So once you take the test, it only takes like 12 minutes to do. Then I want you to, once completed, read about your results and then respond here. Let me see what it looks like from a student perspective. Respond there with what your personality type is. It's going to be 4 letters and whether or not you agree with it. Does that make sense? So that's a new assignment you have to do, but it should be kind of short and the results should be interesting, is what I hope. What was I going to show you? Oh yeah, I want to see real quick. I want to see what it looks like from a student perspective because I haven't done an assignment like this yet. So I'm very curious. Hold on, where are you? So if you come, oh, I can't even, oh, let me see. Let me change the prerequisites. Sorry, you can just speak amongst yourself. No, hold on. Edit. Die. Okay. Sorry. So let me try this again. Bop. Bop. I think I'm hoping that sound effects make this less boring. Let's see. Personality type. So, oh yeah. So when you click submit assignment, there's a text entry. So that you can just type in your answer. You guys with me? So you don't have to upload a scan of shit. You just type in your answer. Is that cool? You guys understand what's happening? Maybe. Okay. All right. And the book talks a little bit. Let me show you what the book says. Oh shit. So I got to do a few things here. Leave. Okay. Let me open the book.
Jeff, I was trying to say something, but I was on mute. So we get ready to take a personality test.
Not right now. You're going to do it on your own time. It's due by the 13th.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not going to do it right now.
Right.
Let me see. I want to show you what the book says in case you don't have it. Let's see. Come on. Oh, book. Here we go. Okay, let me share this. So they do talk a little bit about it. So I am E, extrovert. I don't know if you noticed. I'm actually the most introverted extrovert, though. It's very interesting. I'm intuitive. And so you can read what that means. I am feeling, which is interesting instead of thinking, and I am perceiving and not judging. So once you do your results, the site with the test goes a lot deeper, but this is a quick way to reference your 4 letters to see what it means. I'm not going to sell you shit. I'm not going to, whatever. I just think it's really good for students to, have you guys heard of like learning methods, like learning types? Like you have people that have to use their hands to learn, or they have to write it to learn it, or they have to hear it to auditory, right?
Yeah.
This is kind of related to that, but a larger sense. This is just who are you as a person? And it kind of explains why you react to certain things the way you do. And it actually helped me figure out a few things about what I do when I'm really down and how to get myself out of it and all that kind of stuff. So it's really interesting. Anyway, so you can use it as much as you want to. I just want you to do it and tell me what it is. And then you can forget about it if you want to. But I think it'll be interesting, right? So I'm really curious to see if there's any other ENFPs or whatever. Has somebody said they took it or they knew about it. Does somebody know what their personality type is? You don't have to share it if you don't want to. You can just say, yes, you do know. And you're going to eventually have to share it with me. So, oh, there we go. It's an INFJ. So there's a thing about NF personalities. There's some similarities there. Oh, Ian, look at that. So both of my Laurens, that's very interesting. If your name is Lauren, you have done the test. I like it. ENFJ, it's almost the same as me. That's neat. So you guys, if it's been a while since you took the test, you might want to take it again because this is the kind of thing that could change over your life. This isn't like astrology where you're always a Virgo. No, after you go through some shit, it might change. That makes sense because you might change the way you think about things. So you might want to take it again or not. It's up to you. Is everybody with me? You guys with me? Oh, I didn't finish my story. So when I was teaching this other class, they all did their personality types. The next day I said, does anyone want to tell me how it came out? And this guy in the back, I will never forget this as long as I live. He's like, Mr. Waller, yeah, I'm Gandhi. I lost it. It was amazing because remember I told you, it tells you who else historically has that same personality type. I will never forget this kid. Yeah, Mr. Waller. Yeah, I'm Gandhi. Yeah. Sorry. It was funny. You had to be there to get the full effect. But so that's one thing that this section 1.8 talks about, and that's connected to an assignment that you guys have to do extra on top of the homework. Thank you, Jeff. Okay. So now that more people have checked in, does anyone else have any questions before we continue?
I do have a question real fast.
Yes.
So when I was doing the homework, I noticed that pretty much when you're timesing the two numbers together, they'll be turning into really, really long numbers. Are we allowed to round those numbers, or do we have to use that really, really long number?
So I want to make sure you should only be multiplying things that are in scientific notation, right? Okay, but then are you talking about when you do, for example, you have to do 1.486 times 9.118?
Exactly.
No.
That. Yes.
Okay, that you can round. That's fine.
How many?
Sorry, go ahead.
How many past the decimal should I keep?
Go a couple. So here's the thing. It's okay to round when you write your answer, but do you see how number 4 you've got to do, like number 3 you got to do some stuff, number 4 you got to do some stuff?
Yeah. Yes.
Technically, you should use the non-rounded part when you're doing more shit to it, because if you round in the middle of doing stuff, that rounding difference gets amplified.
Okay.
Right? So if I round 2.5 to 3, and then I multiply by 60, the result's going to be much different than it's supposed to be, right?
Got it.
3
And
times 180, 2.5 times 60 is, what is it, Jeff? 150. That's 30. That's 30 off. Holy shit. Is that all right?
It is. I do have one more question on number 4. I just want to make sure I'm kind of doing it right.
Yes.
Is the problem supposed to be divided?
Yes. But
Okay.
here's the thing. They write it in a strange way. I agree with you. But they do so to show where things are coming from. Whatever 12 times 5280 is, that's what you're going to divide by. Does that make sense? So
Yes,
if I were you, I would do this first and then divide by it. Where do those numbers come from? So I'm going from inches to miles. What does 12 have with anything?
Inches in a foot.
Yeah, 12 inches in a foot. And then what's 5280 got to do with anything?
miles.
Many feet it is in a mile.
Feet in a mile. So it's gonna, that's the, you can see the path we're taking. We're going from inches to feet to miles. So if I take the inches divided by whatever this is, the result will be how many miles. And why does it make sense we divide? Well, if I had 36 inches of wood, how many feet is that?
3.
36 inches of 3.
3, right? 36 divided by 12, right? All right. Okay. Anything else from homework or other stuff? I think I updated some due dates, so you might want to double check those in case you needed more time. But again, in general, a real quick word about due dates. If you turn it in, if it's like 11:52 p.m. and it's due at 11:59, go to bed. Finish it the next freaking morning. All right. The only time that late stuff will really hurt you is if you turn a lot of stuff in late, or if you turn in something very late. The main reason I put those due dates is because we're human. We need due dates. If I didn't put due dates, some people would just do everything all at once at some crazy time. That's insane. So I got to kind of keep you going, but don't like go insane trying to adhere to every due date. Just kind of get around it. The best thing is to be ahead of time, but don't go insane staying up till 11:58 to turn. I mean, come on, go to bed, get some sleep, finish in the morning. Not a big deal. Okay. Is everybody with me? And also, you can email me and suggest that I change due dates. It's up to me to say, okay, or no, too bad. So you might as well ask. You might say, did you mean to make this due date here? Because we just finished. And I'll go, oh, shit, you're right. Let me go change. Because I'm not used to doing Canvas due date shit. I'm not an online teacher until now. So I'm perfectly fine with rethinking my initial due date. Okay, enough of that. Anything else before we move on?
I have one question.
Yes.
How do you know, like, when a problem is saying like to multiply, or when to say like you can divide? With number 4, it shows like you divide, but some of them, like, I get confused sometimes. Which one is I should multiply and which one should I divide in a number?
We had a really good conversation earlier before class started with a few students. One thing I do, so number 3 is a good example of this, right? Maybe, or even number 2.
Yeah.
Right? So number 2, let's look at number 2. So the numbers are insane, right? And very often our brain just kind of turns off when there's big ass numbers. Our brain goes, I don't know, man. But so if I changed it, if I said, watch, this is perfectly fine to do because I'm not going to write what I'm saying down. I'm just trying to let my brain figure out what operation. So let's say there were 200 tax returns filed, right? You with me? 200 tax returns filed, and the average amount of tax paid was $10 bucks.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I just did? I just made very nice numbers. Now, what would I do then to figure out the total amount of money? 200 returns filed, and the average amount per filer was 10 bucks. So if I got 200 returns, and the average amount for each one was $10. How much total money?
2,000.
2,000. You would multiply then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense what I just said? No? I could tell no.
Kinda.
So the idea is take the insane numbers I'm given, make them nice round numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Not 148.6 million. Let me make it 200 returns. I got 200 returns. And instead of 9,118, let me make it $10 each. And then your brain says, oh, I would multiply those. Our brain can latch on to that much easier. 200 returns, $10 per return. I multiply those. So then what do I do actually for number 1? I take the 148.6 million after I turn it scientific notation times the 9118 after I turn it into scientific notation, right?
Yes.
So the thing there is I just need to tease out what the, like you're saying, it's a beautiful question, Wasan. What the hell operation do I need to use on this problem? So that's what we're trying to tease out. So make the numbers better so they're not in your way.
Mm-hmm.
Once you see what the operation is, do that with the ugly numbers.
Okay.
That whole thought process is so useful in general in mathematics. Trust me, it really is useful. Because you're right, they're not going to tell you in the problem. That's part of the problem is what do I do? Right?
Yeah.
And I get a lot of people just kind of guessing. And I don't blame you because I don't think anyone's ever told you what I just told you.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever heard that from a teacher? Say, make nicer numbers, see what your brain does, and then do that with the ugly numbers because the numbers don't matter. The numbers don't tell me what to do. The situation does. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. That is something I wish that we taught a lot earlier so that you had a lot more practice with it because it is so useful. Yeah. All right. So I'm glad you asked that question. That came up earlier and I didn't even think to share with everybody. So I'm happy you asked that. Anything else? Oh, sorry. Anything else? By the way, I love that my 2 Laurens are just 1 letter off. That's neat. That is so cool. What is it? 1 letter off in type and 2 letters off in name. All right, I'll stop. So I want to show you something that relates to what the rest of 1.8 is about. And let me just get your take on this. All right, I got to pull this bad boy up. Where are you? Here you are. All right, I think I like this one. Let's see if you guys can relate to this one. I'm just gonna throw this at you. I'm not even gonna tell you what the shit it is. Have you ever seen something that looks like this? Can you guys see that okay? I don't know if I can blow that up.
Yeah, it's a Venn diagram.
Oh, there I can. I can grow. All right, Venn diagram. School course paradox. I love this idea. Now just kind of look at it for a second. What are the ones where it says extremely difficult? Can you tell me what type of courses those are? Do you guys know how to read this thing?
Interesting and it's good on your transcript.
So interesting and looks good on transcript, according to the person that created this, translates into very difficult. You with me? So if it looks good on your transcript, it's probably going to be difficult. What if it looks good on your transcript and it's easy? They say then that it's
boring and not
boring class, right?
or it looks terrible.
But if it's interesting and easy, it probably looks terrible on your transcript. Are you guys with me? I have lived several of these situations. And this, of course, doesn't really hold. This is nothing. It's just somebody made this just to be funny, but it actually kind of makes some sense. So if it is interesting, it looks good in your transcript, and it's easy, then there are no open spots. And I'm sure we have all lived that experience, right? I like it. I like it. Anyway, so that's, we've all seen these before. We don't see them very often, these Venn diagrams, but they are actually very useful, especially in a lot of mathematics. Let me show you another one. Let me see if I can do this. If I click this, can you see the next one? Do you see a new one? I like this. So if somebody breaks into your house and they eat your food, they are a stoned burglar. Okay, that kind of makes sense. If somebody breaks into your house and they leave things behind, they are an awful burglar. And if somebody eats your food and they leave things behind, that's a first-year roommate. That actually makes sense. If they do all three of those things, break into your house, eat your food, leave things behind, that's Santa Claus.
It's Santa Claus.
Yeah. All right, good. Some of you guys are, I don't even care. I liked it. It was funny for me. And if it's funny for you, that's just icing. So let me show you one more. I can't even remember what this last one is. Good Lord. Let's see what it is, Jeff. Let's see what past Jeff picked. Oh, this is, yeah. This actually, there could be so many things you put here. What I thought being an adult would be like, being an adult, and the amount of ice cream I eat is very tiny. So it's anyway, so that's just funny. So let's look at some more mathematical Venn diagrams. All right. So let me share the book with you. Oh, geez. Give me a minute. I've got to scroll. I don't want to share this so you don't get sick watching this. There's a lot of stuff, by the way, I think you guys have picked up on this. This is not the easiest class to teach in this environment. This is should be a very group-oriented class. I still have to work on being better about breakout rooms. I'm trying to figure out how to make them easier to work within, but oh well. So there's a whole lot of this that the group work we can't quite do. Let me see here. Here we go. Here's some interesting stuff. Here we go. All right, let me show you this one. So this is a little bit more mathematical. Okay. Oh shit, sorry. That really goes insane. Is there an in-between option? Hold on.
Is this in the book? Yeah. Also?
Yeah, this is page 109. All right, this should be, let's do 280. All right. Study done on 400 entrees at 75 campus cafeterias. All right, and now the campus cafeteria is your fridge. So let's see, how many meals, don't say anything out loud, just think about it for a minute. How many meals had less than 12 grams of fat and less than 350 calories? Okay, So who's got an answer for me? What do you think?
142.
Yes, exactly. Because so what part of this picture represents this and that is going to be where they overlap. Now here's a more interesting question somehow. Be really careful. How many had less than 12 grams of fat? How many meals?
70.
No. How big is the less than 12 grams of fat circle? It's this big.
Mm-hmm.
So how many total meals are in that circle?
That's
Is it the 70 plus the 142?
Exactly. Now think about it. Think about it. What are these 70? These are the ones that have less than 12 grams of fat, but they have more than 350 calories. Now let me know if I lose you. If I'm outside of this circle, how many calories do I have? If I'm outside of this circle, how many calories?
well,
Yes. If I'm outside, if I'm anywhere outside this circle, how many calories do I have? Over
350.
Over 350. Let me stop right there. Is everybody with me? So what a Venn diagram does is whatever this circle is defined to be, everything gets input into it that matches that definition. So those 70 have less than 12 grams of fat, but more than 350 calories. What about these 142? They have less than 12 grams of fat. And so how many total have 12 grams of fat? This plus this.
Or less than 12.
Yeah, how many have less than 12 grams of fat? The 70 plus the 142. All right, let me stop for a minute. So these get a little more interesting to work with because I have numbers now. And when you have to talk about a total number of things, you really have to know how to read this, right? The funny ones we just didn't have that. What is this 140? That's everything that's outside of both circles. So can anybody tell me something about the 140 meals? What's true about them? Do they have less than 350 calories? Do they have less than these 140 meals, do they have less than 350 calories?
No, they have more.
They have more, because if they did have less, wouldn't they be in here?
Inside the circle, yeah.
Do they have less than 12 grams of fat?
No.
No, because so what is true about these? They have more than 350 calories
Neither.
and more than 12 grams of fat. That's 140 entrees possible, right? You guys with me? Yes? Okay. All right. Let me know if you're not with me because you're going to have to be able to do this kind of thing on your own. How many meals had less than 350 calories?
At 48.
142 plus 48.
Yes, 142 plus 48. Where's the circle that's less than 350? Here it is. How many things are in that circle? This plus this. Let me stop for a minute. Do you guys get that?
Somebody. 190 exactly.
Yeah, 190. I like it. So there's a lot of perplexed, Jeff, really? So let's try this. These 48, do they have less than 350 calories?
Yes.
Yes. These 142, do they have less than 350 calories?
Yes.
So then how many total have less than 350 calories? You got to add those together. I mean, that's right. Do you guys see that now? So whatever's in a circle matches that definition. So when you have a normal Venn diagram, so we saw earlier we had some with like 3 circles, right? So you can't have more circles, but a traditional Venn diagram has 2 circles. So whatever's out here doesn't match either one of these. Whatever's in here matches both. And of course, whatever's here or here matches one of each, right? Okay, I like it. So you just have to know how to put the numbers back together to answer general questions like this. Okay, maybe. Let's try, let's see what's down here. Oh, we already did some of this. Let's see. Well, let me ask you, oh geez. Let me ask you one more interesting question. How many had less than 12 grams of fat, but more than 350 calories? Less.
70 and 42.
Let's
They have to have-
70.
Have to have less than 12 grams of fat and more than 350 calories.
70.
70, done.
Mm-hmm.
Less than 12 means they have to be in this circle. More than 350 means they have to be outside of this circle. Okay, I like it. I like it. So it's not hard. It's just very different than what we do normally, right? So it takes a little bit of getting used to. All right, let's see. Can't remember if they have an example. No. Barf. Okay, got it. Yeah, no, not good. I thought we had one more example. No? Nah, got her. Here we go. Oh, here we got a triple one. Okay, I like this. All right. So let's see, 47. All right, so we kind of give this away. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. They should have put this problem earlier. 47 people prefer pizza with pepperoni. Try to say that several times fast. Notice that 47 does not appear in the diagram anywhere. So see how 47 is nowhere in there. But we should not be surprised by that because where's the pizza, the pepperoni pizza circle? Now I need freaking pizza for lunch. Got to give me some.
Right here on the side. Oh, to me, on your, I don't know.
This is the pepperoni circle. This is the pepperoni circle. So how do I get 47 prefer pizza with pepperoni? Of course, I have to do what?
Look at the whole pepperoni.
Add up 32, 6, 7, and 2.
Add it.
Yeah, let's see what we get. 6 and 7.
13.
And 2 is 15 and 32 is
42, 47.
See, that's the point we were making earlier. So how many total like onion on their pizza?
30.
Is everybody cool with that? So here's the onion circle. So how many like onions? 2 plus 7 plus 3 plus 18. Right, so you get 30. I like it. Hey, Mikey. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. How many customers? Okay, here's an interesting one. You guys ready? Don't say anything out loud. I'm going to make my own question. How many do not like sausage or onion?
32.
6.
Don't.
No.
How many do not like sausage or onion? I heard the right answer. It's 32.
32, yeah.
So that would be all the people that are not in which circles. You can't be in the sausage circle, which is a very strange phrase, and you can't be in the onion circle, right? You have to be in the pepperoni circle. Pepperoni circle, that sounds like something I can get behind. I like that. So 32 people don't prefer sausage or onion. I like it. Now, what's missing? What's kind of missing here? I mean, it could just be that all of these customers liked one of these 3, but shouldn't there be a number like outside? Well, if I put a number outside, like if I put a number right there, let me go ahead and do it. You do it, Jeff. You be a rebel. Let me put a number I can do easy without 4. If there was a 4 sitting out there, what does that mean?
They don't like none of it.
Yeah, exactly. They don't want pepperoni, sausage, or onion. Maybe these are people that prefer the ham and pineapple, and they deserve to be off in a corner. I'm sorry if you're one of those people.
Hawaiian pizzas are great.
You can have all mine. I have nothing against ham. I have nothing against pineapple. I have a lot against them when they're on a pizza. But you can have mine. I don't think any less of you as a person. Is that cool? So that's sort of missing. That kind of would make sense if they had a number out there, but they didn't, so too bad. Okay. How many prefer pizza with only sausage? So that should be a nice, easy one. Don't say anything out loud. Everybody try this. How many prefer pizza with only sausage? Not much work to do there, right? So how many is it? Who's got the answer? How many prefer pizza with only sausage?
40.
40. It's got to be in the sausage circle, but not in either of the two other ones. Who are these 7 people right there?
They like all of it.
Yeah, they like pepperoni and sausage and onion. I like it. Now, don't say anything out loud. Who are those 3 people right there? Just write it down. Don't say it out loud. Just hold on to it. Those 3 people right there. Hold on to it. What are you doing? I don't know. Okay. All right, somebody got that for me. Who are those 3 people?
Sausage and onion.
Yeah, they like sausage and onion, but not pepperoni. I like it. Right, which would not be a pizza I would like, but it's still better than ham and pineapple. All right. So he's not paying attention. All right. Oh, I did that problem. That's kind of funny. Oh, screw you. Okay. Oh, they do have it there. Okay, let me catch up with what they've done. Here's a really interesting, okay. Well, they kind of do it for us, which kind of sucks a little bit. Let me hide that part. Can anybody tell me how many people total are in these circles? I mean, that's not that bad. You got to be a little careful.
$98.
So what are you guys doing?
50, 70.
Can somebody tell me?
108.
Oh, let's see. I got several different answers. Let me see. I got 90. I got 108. So if you just add up each of the separate numbers, then that is being careful. You don't want to count anybody twice, right? Okay, so if you just count, did anybody do that? Let's see, 56, 76. So I get 108. Whoever said 108, it looks like you're right. So if you just count each one of these separate, then you're not double counting anybody, right? But there were 113. So they did do what I was talking about. I just didn't realize it. So what number should be? I put 4, but that's not right. How many should be out here?
5.
5 people, because there's 5 people that weren't in here at all. I like. Okay. So actually, I like that problem a lot better now. I didn't realize they did that. That's beautiful. I love it. Okay, so and that's this question down here. How many go the boring route? None of these items, and that's 5 people. Nothing wrong with a margarita pizza, especially when it goes with a margarita. Oh, sorry. Okay, so what's your homework going to look like? Like this. Well, this is exciting. So they start off with one that's not mathematical, which is nice, sort of like what I did to discuss this. Now, here's something. Let me see. Where do they introduce this symbol? All right, somewhere. So let me tell you what the symbol means. Sorry. Has anyone ever seen this symbol before right here?
Yes.
And what's that symbol mean?
Intersects.
Yeah, it means intersect, but more kind of generally it means and. So if C is cold symptoms and A is allergy symptoms, write the set cold and allergy. So that would be all this, the overlap. So like Vu said, another reason why it's called intersection is it's the intersection of the two things. So it's going to be that overlap area. So that symbol there, doesn't it look like a letter A that's missing the middle line? Right? If you did this with a middle line, that would be an A. So that stands for and. So if they do that again to you, you know what it is. Now here's one that's going to be really interesting. This is one that I really need you guys to try to do and come back with questions. You have to fill in this diagram yourself. So it's kind of doing what we were doing backwards. They tell you 130 total, 108 use Instagram, 37 use Facebook, and 21 use both. I don't know. I kind of want to, well, let's see. No, I kind of want you guys to try to do this. What you've got to be careful about, let's do one piece of this together. Look at Facebook. All right. 37 still using Facebook. They're probably over 40. Would I put the number 37 in here somewhere?
No, not in the between the two being one of the sides. Yeah,
What goes in here for sure?
we'll do both of them.
So what goes in here?
21.
21. So let me put that in there.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you just put, Jeff, is that all right? I don't want to wake this guy up. All right, screw it. What's got to go in here then? I can't put 37 here, can I? What's got to go here then? How many total are supposed to be in the Facebook circle?
Oh, 37 minus the 21.
Yeah, so 16. Right? So eventually you're going to have to figure out how many go out here, how many go here, right? So I'm going to let you guys finish that problem up. But we addressed that issue earlier looking at a problem that was done. So now you should be able to construct your own Venn diagram, being very careful about what shows up. I'm really hoping my internet's okay because I'm a little, all right, it hasn't said I'm unstable yet. And I am. Okay, let me clear that. And then here they give you one that's all complete and they ask you several questions. You don't have to know how to even say these, right? These are just different medications. I've never even heard of any of these. Maybe this one, maybe not. So we did a problem like that earlier, right? So this one shouldn't be horrible. Okay, good. I just want to make sure you understand the homework is not going to be insane. And so a little preview of where we're headed with section 1.9. Get down here. Oh, maybe we should do this. Let's do some of this together. Boop. No, where am I at? Oh, how did I get way the hell back here? All right, here we go. So you guys, I know you guys have all seen a bar graph. So let's try to, yeah, okay, let's do this. So here's the scores for 20 students on a 30-point quiz, right? And then we put them in order. It's easier to work with if they're in order. And they just say a couple things about it. So this is we're going to get a little bit into just really direct statistics stuff, getting ready for taking 160 in case anybody's going to take 160 next after this. So look at what they want to have happen here. Let me wake this dude up because otherwise trying to draw is going to suck a lot, which means I'm going to have to do this. Just hang on. I got to move you guys over here, and I got to move this guy over here. It's all very exciting on my end. All right, and then let's do this. And then I do this and this. Okay, that didn't take too long. Okay, so I can see my data. Oh, shit. All right, this is fine. So do you see down here? Oh, what's the matter with you? Oh, yeah. Jeff. Yeah, Bluetooth connected.
Bluetooth connected.
Thank you. There we go. You've all seen bar graphs before, like something like this, right? Like you can say women, men, and pay, which unfortunately is still this. You guys with me? You've all seen bar graphs before. And most of the time when you see a bar graph, it's some kind of bad news. So here, less than 18, how tall will the bar be for less than 18? Can anyone figure that out? Here's the data up here, right? Can you guys, there's the data. how tall will the less than 18 bar be?
Just 2?
Yeah, good, right? There's only 2 data points that are less than 18. So it's going to go up to 2. What about 18 to 20?
2.
2. What about 21 to 23?
1.
1. 24 to 26?
8. 4.
4. I like it. So we're getting a little more interesting. Maybe your bars will be straight. I don't know. And then 27 to 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Oh.
All right. I wish this is how my distributions looked. I don't know why this bar is so skinny. Not too bad. Sorry, say again.
I'm trying to figure out what am I missing here. Am I missing part of the? Okay, so I'm not getting. I'm not getting that.
So
Okay,
here's the
so
data up
left
here.
and-
Right? Linnell, help me out. Do you see the data up here, right?
Yes.
All right. And so they gave me these categories, less than 18. So how many quizzes were less than 18? 1, 2. Right?
Oh, okay.
2 quizzes were less than 18. So how tall is this bar going to be? It's going to go up to 2. And then 18 to 20, there were 2 things that were 18 to 20.
The 2.
So 2 again.
And then there was only 1 that was 21 to 23. So that's why this went up to 1.
Oh, okay.
And then 4 and then 11. Yeah, I like it. So the height of a bar tells you how many times that category happened. So if I'm a teacher and this is my results for a quiz, you're gonna hate me a little bit. It's not that I'm gonna be very happy. I'm gonna say, did I make that quiz too easy? Although that's not necessarily the case. I'm always open to the fact that all of my students are doing awesome. And I always hope for that to be the case. I want you to understand. But at the same time, as a teacher, you go, I might have made that a little too easy. Okay. Hopefully you guys understand how to rectify that. But if you don't, oh well, too bad. Is that all right with you guys? I mean, just that idea of how to construct a bar graph. You see these things all the damn time, right? And what's one way I could, like if I didn't want this to be such a huge, actually, what if I wanted to make this even bigger, this difference? I could be kind of evil and start at 2 instead of starting at 0. And then these would be even more pronounced. So that's one thing we focus on when you take statistics is how could you deceive somebody so that you know what to look for when somebody gives you a picture. You're like, did you do something weird? Did you change the scale? What are you doing? I got to make sure I can trust this. And that unfortunately is what a lot of people don't even know. They don't know what to look for. So they sort of blindly accept what they see. And evil people know that a lot of people do that. So they can control you by just giving you shit in a very deceiving way. Okay, I'll stop. I'm going to clear all my chicken scratch up there. Go away. So down here, for the prep skill stuff, they're going to basically want you to redo what we just did. They're going to want you to arrange this in order because it was a lot easier when the data is in order to see what's in what category, right? Then they're going to want to know a couple of quick things, and then they want you to draw a bar graph. And they give you the categories. So they're going to want you to create this type of graph using this data. I like it. Okay, maybe. And of course, the actual section 1.9, just to kind of look ahead a little bit, come here, is going to talk about exactly what we're saying. You got, do you guys know that newspapers exist still? I don't know if you guys know that. newspapers exist. We're going to talk about some statistical stuff. We're going to get into, so I don't know if you guys know some of these words. I know you all know the word population and the word sample. Does anyone know how those two things relate? The population and a sample. Does anyone know already how those two things relate to each other?
You would take a sample of a population?
Exactly. So a population is the entire group that I want to say something about. And the sample is the people or things that I actually look at. So when you see news about Biden leads Trump in Arizona by so many points, did they talk to every person in Arizona? Hell no. They took a sample of people in Arizona. And that's why, what do you always see at the bottom of the screen if you pay attention? You always see plus or minus 3 or 4%. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. So whenever you see a poll, very often they'll say plus or minus 3 or 4%. And that's because they're using a sample to talk about a whole population. So what you see in a poll is not necessarily reality. There is a margin of error. And if more people understood that, certain things wouldn't happen as much. But oh well, it's too bad. So that's not going to be you. You guys are going to be better. You guys are going to know what the shit's going on. Okay. Let me see. What was there's one other thing I wanted to show you for this next section. Oh, scatter plot is just plotting points. So we're going to get into that next time. Anyway, okay, that's enough of a preview. So if you want to get into 1.9 and start trying it out, if you're kind of caught up with homework, feel free. There might be a couple of definition things that we have to go over to understand, but it should be something you can get into, right? You should be able to get into this. Let me see. I think, yeah, all right. Was that all I wanted to do? Yeah, let's do it a little bit. Why not? Let's get a little bit into 1.9. I got some time left. I like it. So let's see what we can do here. So let's look at this data. So the table below shows the average daily circulation for newspapers from 2001 to 2015. So what is the main takeaway from this chart, from this table? What's the most obvious trend?
It's decreasing.
Yeah, and it makes sense. We know this is true. This is why I made the joke earlier about, do you know that newspapers still exist? Because fewer and fewer people are getting newspapers, which makes sense. There's so many other places to get news. Unfortunately, a lot of those places to get news suck. They suck. So I do want to show you, there's a lot of websites about media bias. And you can tell what are the least biased sources of news. Because what's really unfortunate nowadays, I have no idea how you feel about this, but I remember about 20 years ago, I was joking that we were going to go to the barber, and before I let them cut my hair, I would ask them if they were Republican or Democrat. And basically it's become true. So, and now so many news sources are so biased, left and right, that it's becoming really important to find the ones that have the least bias and not just live in a bubble of misinformation, right? Okay, I'm not going to preach at you. I'm sorry. But I do kind of want to show you some places to go to see how biased certain media sources are. All right, so let me clear this real quick. So reading a table, we're all very used to reading tables. I don't want to make a scatter plot right now. Here we go. Well, let's see. No, I don't want to go too deep into this. We'll do this tomorrow. I think we can end very early today. I think that's fine. Because I was planning on giving us not taking up the whole time anyway, because it's a lot of time on Zoom cumulatively. So I think you guys will be okay if we stop there for today. So just get into 1.9 if you can. Definitely catch up with the earlier sections. And don't forget to do that personality test. It's due by the 13th. I'm really curious how it's going to come out. And I'm really curious if anybody's going to be interested in it. If you're not at all, just do it and forget all about it forever. That's fine. All right. So officially, class is over. If you have any questions, let me know. Hang out with me. Otherwise, you can leave.
Today at 2, right?
Say again?
Today at 2.
I'm sorry. What?
Today at 2, you're back on,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Today is the extra office hours. Round 2. Does it start at 2? I can't remember. Let's see. Yeah, today is 2. You're right. 2 to 3. So I'll see you then if you want some more time. You got me now, too. You guys okay out there that are still with me? Anybody have questions?
Question about 1.7, question 5. What do they want us to do?
All right, let me see. 1.7 for 5. Here we go. Oh, okay. So you got the number of miles from number 4, right?
Right, I got 10,875. I don't even know if that's right.
Let me see. That sounds not quite right. Let's see. So yeah, because if you don't get 4, 5 is never going to work. You said 10,000 something?
Yeah, 10,875.
Yeah, it's not quite right. What'd you get for number 3?
Number 3, I have 5.82621,964 times 8, 10 to the 8th power.
Yeah, and so for number 4, I'm not sure. Let me think what would have happened. I don't quite see what would have happened. So number 4, you divide. I would do 12 times 5280. See what that number is.
Which is 63,360.
And then divide the 5.8 thing by that. And do you see how 5 divided by 6 should be less than 1? So it makes sense. It doesn't make sense that your number that you got starts with a 1. That's really weird, I know, but it's sort of like an estimation tool.
Well, I know. Okay, I know where I went wrong. So if it's going to be less than 1, because I always type it into my calculator wrong.
Oh, okay, okay.
And I always type it wrong.
I have it backwards.
I understand that. All right. And so now, once you get number 4, how do I do the percentage of anything? How do I do a percentage? So they want the percentage of the way to the sun that our stack of dollar bills do, right? You with me?
Divide it over something?
Yes. So to find a percentage, you divide the part divided by the whole. So in this case, the part is our dollar bill stack, and the whole is the distance to the sun.
Okay.
I like it. So that's how you always find a percentage, is divide the part by the whole.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
Welcome. How's everybody else? You guys all right? Any other questions?
Yeah, actually, I know we just went over everything with the Venn diagram, but for number 1 in group, I was having a really hard time with, I guess, labeling the groups. Because looking at...
What page are we on?
This is page 108.
Come here. Where are you? Here you are. All right. Let me make sure. Did I? All right, hold on. Are you doing that just because, or did I actually put the wrong page number on the assignment?
Here, let me pull up.
1 point, what is it, 1.8? Yeah, page 115. That's, so, I mean,
Oh, okay. Then I guess that's my mistake.
see, that's what we would be doing in class. And I just have to figure out how to do some of that in breakout rooms, make it easier for people to do it. It kind of sucks. I mean, this class is a lot better if we're in a classroom, able to do stuff in groups and stuff. And I'm just not as well versed with the breakout room to make it work the way it should. But yeah, that's not part of the assignment. Yeah.
Okay, then thank you so much. That's it.
Okay. How's it? Everybody else okay out there?
I'll just come back at 2. I had a question about the number 5, 1.7, number 5 you just went over. You said
7. Oh yeah, that's the one. Yeah. So what's
you
up?
said divide part by whole. I don't understand that. What that means.
The whole is the whole distance to the sun.
Okay.
And the part is going to be our dollar bill stack. I'm pretty sure it's not going to make it all the way to the sun. So they ask, what percentage of the way does our stack go to? So it's always the part, in this case our stack, divided by the whole, the entire way to the sun.
Okay.
Yeah. So if I ran 16 miles of a 26-mile race, what percentage of the way did I make it? 16 out of 26.
And then when I did the number 3 instead of when I did it where I add the big numbers, I got one amount, and then when I try to reduce it to the 1.35 times 4.3 instead of that big number, it's like off.
All right,
it wasn't the same.
So when you do, so like I said earlier, it's not horrible if you round stuff, but really if you're just going to plug in the calculator, why round? So do 1.3549348 times 4.3, right? And that'll give you the number part, and then of course you combine the exponents for the 10 part, right?
Mm-hmm.
You should be good. You should be good to go. Do you get like 5 point something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'm sure I'm gonna have questions by 2.
Okay, I'll be here.
Okay, thank you.
Good eye vote. All right. All right, see you later. Yeah.
All right. Sam, you okay out there? Oh, Sammy boy. All right, I'm headed out. I'll see you later.